Welcome to Glimmerbrook, where the population is exactly 11. Sure, the streets look beautiful and serene, but keep in mind that every blue butterfly you see flying around is the soul of someone who's tried to escape. While visitors are allowed anytime before midnight, you won't have cell phone service, and if you're there after the clock strikes 12, you become a butterfly. Living in this gorgeous pink home straight out of the 1950s is Electual, a historian who can travel through time and manipulate it. Before she moved to Glimmerbrook, she was a flapper in 1920s Harlem and a wild young thing in Atlanta circa 1950, going to juke joints on the Chitlin circuit as a shake dancer. Ray Charles once wrote about Electual in his 1953 song, Mess Around. Now you see that girl with that diamond ring? She knows how to shake that thing, mess around. He wrote that about her. But now, Electual has calmed down and she no longer messes around. I absolutely love her clothes, by the way, and they're made by Sentate, who posts their CC creations for free over on Patreon. When Electual isn't driving around in her 1956 Ford Thunderbird, going for a swim in her pool, or turning late-night trespassers into butterflies, she's observing the residents of Glimmerbrook, who she's cursed to live in the 40s, 70s, and 80s. She calls her creation the Retroverse. In 4045 Rosie Lane live the Winthrops, who are from Atlanta, Georgia. It's spring 1946 and Josephine Winthrop is a 60-year-old widow living with her daughter Dorothea and her daughter Pearl. Josephine's husband Otis died over a year ago, and she's finally ready to get out and live her life. She hopes to find an elderly gentleman to crack her back with, and she also wants to spend as much time as possible with Dorothea and Pearl. Meanwhile, Dorothea is waiting for her husband, Private Elijah Ambrose, to return home from the war. Now, World War II ended in September 1945, which is how many months ago? And the Army claims that Private Ambrose was already shipped back home, but he still hasn't showed up. Dorothea is worried and hurt because she needs his help with raising Pearl, who has some pretty wild dreams about becoming a blues singer. The Winthrop women live in this lovely gallery build, and the link to it is in the description box. It's very cozy, and my favorite part is the era-appropriate kitchen that I tweaked. Behind the ironing board are pinto beans, pickled eggs, fried pork chops, Grandma Josephine's famous cookies, fresh cantaloupe, casserole for the church potluck, and a bag from Piggly Wiggly, which came to Georgia in greater numbers in the 1940s. And when these Sims want to be entertained, they talk to each other, read, write on their typewriter, and listen to the radio. That's it. Grandma Josephine might go dig around in her garden, but really, that's all they got to do. Dorothea has been upset lately because of her missing man and because she lost her good job at the local textile factory, like a lot of women, because so many soldiers just came home. Thankfully, she just heard about a job opening for a secretary, but she'll be earning 35 cents an hour instead of 40 cents like she made at the factory. Will this be enough? Will Elijah come home? Will Pearl grow up all right if he doesn't? All of their clothes and hairs were made by the awesome 20th Century Sims and Hobby True Love Sims, who both have amazing options on their sites. And again, links in the description box below. Over in 7075 Summers Lane lives the Winter family, who are from Oakland, California. It's spring 1976 and sisters Donna and Roberta live with their uncle Silky. Silky, real name Percy, just got back from Vietnam. At night, his PTSD kicks in and he screams at the top of his lungs when he has bad dreams. But that's not the real problem. He's never been nice, but his time off at war, fighting pointlessly for the white man, has made him even angrier. He takes out his resentment on his nieces by giving them the cold shoulder. They put up with his poor attitude because he's their mother's brother, God rest her soul, and because he gives them wads of cash every month to pay the mortgage and bills. The streets call him Silky because he keeps his business smooth as silk, and if you ever need a washing machine, refrigerator, or outfit that fell off the back of a truck, call Silky. He'll get you right. So Roberta is a fun-loving undergrad at Berkeley University where she's learning about leftist ideology, enjoying a growing Black Studies program, and meeting open-minded women on the quickly radicalizing campus. Roberta has always liked women, you know, liked women, but she finally has met other lesbians and is excited about the way her life is going. And she's thinking about coming out to her sister. She also thinks she wants to begin working on a novel after reading Sula in the Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. Her sister Donna, meanwhile, doesn't really do much. She feels destined for fame and she just thinks she's gonna be famous one day, especially because her name twin Donna Summers released Love to Love You Baby the year before. So like Donna's obsessed with Donna and dresses like her all the time and will break out in a song pretty much anywhere, even though she can't sing and she can barely dance, like she has no rhythm. The last Winter's Kitchen, you can spy a Jack-in-the-Box bag, a San Diego, California-based chain that expanded its franchising in the 70s. There's also carpet in the bathroom, and the basement has a slightly weird smell. Their home is a gallery build based off of the home from That 70s Show, and I'll be sure to leave a link in the description box. At 8085 Jackson Street lives the Banks family, who are from Miami, Florida. It's fall 1988, made evident by the stuff on Layla Banks' dresser. Not only is she obsessed with The Cosby Show, but she buys Great American cookies every time she goes to the mall, because she's a total mall rat. She listens to music on her Sony Walkman. She switched to drinking Pepsi from Coke after the Michael Jackson commercial came out in '84, and she's also a secret Dungeons and Dragons dork who's writing her own lore in addition to studying obsessively for her SATs, so she can go to Howard University like her parents did. And whenever she's studying, her favorite cereal to eat is obviously Mr. T's, which came out in 1984. And as Layla loves to brag at school, the wealthy Banks family can watch VHS tapes on their big screen TV with surround sound. Cause you know, they got money. Her parents, Francesca and Francisco Banks, have been longtime paramours ever since they were 15 years old in the Jack and Jill program, and they're what you might call snobby. They belong to all the right clubs and mingle with all the right people. So it really grinds their gears that their older son Vince is getting interested in gangster rap. This boy has never lived in the hood in his life. Francesca caught Vince listening to Straight Outta Compton and nearly fainted. She reminded him that he's from the suburbs and has good money, and he told her that's not real life. Vince isn't completely right about that, because the family has a modern computer, expensive art, a yacht, a pool, and a personal chef who makes sushi, pancakes, and anything else he could want whenever he wants it. In their beautiful Gourmet Kitchen are some favorites that were created or got popular in the 80s, like Eggo waffles, honey smacks, and cheese and cracker trays. Along with the Dungeons and Dragons game, the Eggo waffles are part of a dope Stranger Things collection by CC creator Mel Bennett. Franny don't be eating them Eggo waffles because she's always on a crash diet, and she generally eats salad or does the grapefruit diet, which started in the 30s but became popular in the 80s again as the 10-day 10 pounds off diet. The personal chef also makes the pies that Franny, a housewife and socialite, shows off at school bake sales as her own. So yes, the Banks live a charmed and privileged life. But what Francesca doesn't know is that something in the milk ain't clean. Vince has no idea how accurate he is that the Banks family life isn't real. Yes, that's a brick of cocaine in Francisco's bathroom. Francisco lost his corporate job in a hostile takeover the previous year and turned to drug smuggling to keep up the mortgage in his family's lavish lifestyle. That little yacht in the backyard has been making round trips to Colombia for 8 months now. But lately, Francisco is freaking out and getting a little paranoid. There are 2 bodies in his shed, and with his itchy trigger finger, there might be room for more. Can he keep his secret from his family long enough to get out of smuggling and go legitimate? Lastly, in the Glimmerbrook retroverse is the town square and library, which evil historian Electual designed to be based on an early 20th century Western saloon in town. There's a fresh food market and a little bar inside that doubles as a library. Electual comes here to relax, flirt with visitors, and plan out world domination. She hopes to turn another Sims world into a retroverse like Glimmerbrook, and she has her eyes on Britchester. To start her plans, all she needs to do is make her enchanted chicken dinner and lemonade and trick the residents into eating it. That's what she did in Glimmerbrook, and it's been happily ever after, ever since. That's it for this world tour video. If only EA would have blessed us with a few more Glimmerbrook lots so I could do a 90s and 60s family and other builds, but I think I did pretty well with 5. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe and check out my past world tour videos. Also, check out the links in the description box for details on the amazing CC I use. Shout out To all the CC creators, I love you. Thank you for what you do. You make The Sims what it is. I love you. Thank you. Next, we'll be touring Willow Creek and Henford on Bagley for some Southern charm. Thank you so much for watching. And